Hello guys and welcome to Tutor 365, and this is gonna be a first video of our channel. And in this video we will explore gear trains. So let's get started. So first of all we will explore the definition of gear train. Gear train is the combination of two or more gears which are made to mesh with each other in order to transmit the power from one shaft to another shaft. So we'll refer this figure. So when two or more gears are made to mesh with, means when we take two gears and we made to mesh with each other in order to transmit the power from one shaft to another shaft. Here we have two shafts, and on each shaft there is one gear is mounted on each shaft. So when we give a power to this first gear, then it will rotate in clockwise direction, and because it is meshing with this second gear, it will rotate in anti-clockwise direction. And this, in such manner the power can transmit from one shaft to another shaft. Such combination we known as gear train. So for better understanding, I will give the example of train where when we have a train, the power can transmit from one coach to another coach, so that the motion can take place in such a manner. If we replace that coaches of the train by this gear, so we will understand better. Means if we give a power to this gear, so the power can transmit from one gear to another gear, and in such a manner the result of this is the power will transmit from one shaft to another shaft. We have four types of gear trains. First one is simple gear train, second one is compound gear train, third one is reverted gear train, and last one is epicyclic gear train. These three gear trains are stationary on their axis, means they are not take any motion from this axis or from which they are mounted. And this is a special type of gear train in which the gears taking a motion from its axis when it is mounted on the shaft. So we will see this in next. Here we have a first and basic type of gear train known as simple gear train. So definition of simple gear train is when there is only one gear on each shaft, then it is simple gear train. So I will explain you what is this. So if you refer the previous figure in which the gears are mounted on each shaft, that is there is only one gear on each shaft. So if you have a first gear, or sorry, first shaft, and on first gear is mounted known as driver, and on second gear there is second shaft, the second gear is mounted known as driven gear. So when we transfer power from first gear to second gear, it will automatically transfer, or it will rotate in clockwise direction. And as we discussed previously, this will rotate in anti-clockwise direction so that motion can transfer from one shaft to another shaft. So this is the basic type of gear train. When power is transferred from one shaft to another shaft, and on each shaft there is one gear is mounted. So second type is compound gear train. The name itself represents the gear train, that is compound, means when there are more than one gear on each shaft, then it is compound gear train. Means when we mount more than one gear on each shaft, then it is basically a compound gear train. So let's take example of this, or refer this figure. Here is our first gear which is mounted on a shaft A, and here we have a compound gear train, that is 2 3, that is mounted on shaft B, which is only one shaft, that is these two gears are mounted on this one shaft. And here we have another compound gear 4 5, which is mounted on the shaft C, and here we have a last gear that is driven, which is mounted on D. So if we transfer power from this gear will rotate in anti-clockwise direction, sorry, clockwise direction. And because it is meshing on the compound gear 2, the compound gear will rotate in anti-clockwise direction. So, and this compound gear 2 and 3 are mounted on the same shaft. So this gear, 3 gear, that is third gear, will also rotate in anti-clockwise direction because they are mounted on the same shaft, and this motion will transfer it from gear 3 to gear 4, which is mounted on shaft C. So this will rotate in clockwise direction, and because they are 4 and 5 are mounted on same shaft, so it will also rotate in clockwise direction. And finally this motion ends up here as the gear 6, that is when gear 5 will mesh with gear 6, it will rotate in anti-clockwise direction. And finally the power is transferred from first shaft or shaft A to shaft D. So why we developed such a compound or complex type of gear train? The reason behind this is because of the drawback of simple gear train. That is, when there is a large distance between the two gears, we have to mount a intermediate gear between the driver and driven. So to reduce this or to reduce this procedure, we develop compound gear train. So to avoid the bridging between the two gears or two shafts, it will automatically reduce the efficiency. To avoid that bridging or avoid that intermediate gears, we develop this special type of gear train known as compound gear train. Next, our third type is reverted gear train. So the name itself represents the gear that is reverted, means to revert the motion that we are initially transferred and finally gets same motion when we define an output. Means here we have a definition of gear train. When the axis of the first gear, that is first driver, and the last gear, that is last driven, are coaxial, then it is reverted gear train. So we refer this figure. Here we have a 4 gears or 2 compound gears, that is this one is first compound gear, that is 1 4, and this one is second compound gear, that is 2 3. So when we transfer or give power to this first gear, it will rotate in clockwise direction, and because it is meshing with the compound gear 2, the compound gear 2 will rotate in anti-clockwise direction, and compound gear 2 and 3 are mounted on same shaft, that is 2. So this gear, third gear, will also rotate in anti-clockwise direction. So third gear will rotate in anti-clockwise direction, and it is meshing with the last driven, that is fourth gear. So fourth gear will rotate in clockwise direction. So finally we get the same motion of the first driver and last driven. So we are reverting the motion from first to last, means if we have a motion of clockwise direction at first, then it will give a clockwise direction, that is same motion at last, means we are reverting the motion from first gear to last gear so that the power can transmit from one shaft to another shaft. Finally we have the last type of gear train, that is epicyclic gear train. In this is a sum of different between this is different from this previously 3 gears. Here we have a first gear, that is A, and here we have another gear, that is B, and another extra element is here known as arm, and we are giving this arm name C. So in this type of gear train we have to fix any of the one element from these three elements, means gear A, gear B, or arm C. We have to fix one of these element in order to transmit the motion. That is, if we fix this gear, that is gear A, then the arm will rotate around this, and because of arm is attached to O2, that is gear B, gear B will take a motion around gear A. And if we fix the arm, then gear A will take a motion around gear B. That is, we have to fix one of the three elements in order to transmit the motion. And because of the motion is epicyclic, means one element is moving over the another element, so we called it as epicyclic motion. So because of this epicyclic motion, we called this gear as a epicyclic gear train. So that's all for this video. If you like this video, like and subscribe my new channel, that is Tutor 365. Thank you.